Hi friends, I cannot wait to share this story with you. Our story time today is The Adventures of Gus and Flynn, written by Samantha Tamburello, illustrated by Yasmin Gonzalez. This is the story of an octopus named Gus and how he traveled the world without a bus. No bus indeed, just a man named Flynn, who took his new aquatic friend around the world in a wagon. Flynn was a lonely man who lived in a house by the sea. He never went fishing, just sat and sipped his tea. He set up his chair right by the water and liked to watch the fish swim around each other. One day he jumped up with great fear as he noticed an octopus drawing near. He grabbed his tea and began to run. When the octopus called out, "I don't want to hurt anyone," the octopus explained that he wanted to explore the wide world around him, far past the shore. He wanted to see trees and land. He wanted to go out on the sand. "But how will you breathe out of water?" asked Flynn, who grew nervous and started backing up again. Gus thought for a moment, then he had it. "I will wear some kind of a helmet. Fetch me a glass bowl to put over my head. The water will keep me from being unwell. I will travel with you, my new human friend. You can show me the world from start to end." "Oh, I don't know about that," explained Flynn. "My car is so old it barely comes to a crawl, and I don't have much money at all. But I do have a wagon you can sit and I'll pull, and maybe it will work out after all." So that's how the two began their travels, an unlikely duo as it unravels. Flynn first showed Gus his very own ice cream shop, which, as it turns out, Gus liked a lot. The next stop was down past the aquarium. They could have went inside, but Flynn figured he'd spare him. He took Gus into a forest to see the tall trees. Gus was far more interested in the buzzing bees. Into a booming city the two landed in. The bright lights and billboards left Gus with a grin. A grand art museum appeared before them. Gus looked at Flynn, who said, "Let's go in." Don't ask me how the pair ended up in the desert. The blaring sun and hot sand definitely hurt. But when they both gazed up and got a glimpse of a pyramid, they didn't mind traveling to a hot desert. They were so glad they did. The two enjoyed the sunset in a big field of flowers. It was so beautiful, they could have stayed for hours. Flynn told Gus about his favorite sports game, and Gus told Flynn his jellyfish best friend's name. By sunrise, the pair were at a park playground. They were giggling and running and playing around. Flynn pushed Gus on the swing set, and he flew up as high as an octopus could get. When afternoon came, it began to rain. Flynn pouted his lip and said, "What a shame." But Gus jumped into a puddle with a splash. Then they both laughed and laughed and laughed. "Oh, what fun the rain can be," said Flynn merrily. After they had traveled from coast to coast, Flynn asked Gus what he liked the most. Gus put out a tentacled hand and explained that he liked having a new friend. Flynn took his hand and said, "Me too. I've never seen the world in this view. You've taught me what it's like to enjoy the day, even if the skies are gray. You've allowed me to explore and enjoy it, even with a few dollars in my wallet. I will never forget our joyous trip," said Gus as he took a step. He backed his round body into the sea and waved 4 arms, as excited as could be. Flynn smiled wide and went back to his chair, picked up his tea without a single care. He went on with his hobby of watching the fish, but now he had gotten his one and only wish.